Shannon and this is my channel, The Sewing Warehouse, where I talk to you about my dressmaking journey. Today I have something different for you. I am part of the SewFrugal vlog tour and today it is finally time to release my vlog about my SewFrugal plans. So it is a little bit already towards the end of March now. So I am hoping everyone already got started on their SewFrugal project. So I will not talk to you too much about the free patterns that are out there because hopefully you have picked one already. But instead I'm just gonna talk to you a bit more about my process. I'm gonna show you what I'm making and just some other things. So before I get started on my SewFrugal plans for this year, I want to talk to you a little bit about free patterns that I have sewn up and my experience in sewing them up. If you've been following me for a little bit longer, you will know that I absolutely love Mood Society patterns. I think the design is like so fresh and it's really cool, and they're not just like some simple t-shirt, let's just throw a simple freebie out there. They are actually really intricate designs and I really like the look of most of them, I shall say. I've actually written a blog post on my favorite Mood Society patterns, so if you want to have a look on what is all out there, I will link that below and you will see all my favorites. Now, I have made a couple of Mood Society patterns, or actually two. The Watsonia pants and the poppy dress. And the Watsonia pants I have sewn a couple of years ago now. I love the pattern. Like, when it comes to Mood Society patterns, I love when it all comes together and when you have the end result, it's like, it's really nice. They're good. Like, but the instructions are quite shit, to be frank. So when it came to the Watsonia trousers, I hadn't sewn for that long, I don't think, but I just lost my job, so I just threw myself into sewing. And I made these trousers because I love the look of these trousers. They're like a paper bag waist and have white legs. I made them in this like linen viscose that I bought on Goldhawk Road, which is like green with white stripes. And I really like the look of it. Now, when it came to constructing it, it's not too difficult, except when you come to the zip fly front. Now, I had never made trousers before, let alone a zip fly front, and the instructions are honestly, they were so complicated, and I don't think they're right at all. Like, I tried to make them again last year and it's just the instructions on the zipper, I just like, it wasn't correct. And then the worst part of it is, like, you spend like half a day trying to figure out this zip fly front only for it to be like not necessary at all. Because like, they're paper waist, so they're so big at the waist, so big. You just step into it and you tie it with the strings that you sew into it. And you don't need the zipper, you don't use it, which is good because I definitely screw up and the zipper doesn't open. But I'm like, yeah, so I felt a little bit deflated after that because I was like, oh, I don't even need the zip and I just spent so much time figuring out the zip. So yeah, when it comes to Mood Society patterns, I wouldn't recommend them for beginners because you really need just, you know, if you just can figure out construction yourself and you just know a little bit more about how things go together, then it doesn't matter that the instructions aren't really that great. But yeah, and again the same for the poppy dress. I made it last year for my dad's wedding and I loved the dress, and when it came together I was so happy. And you know, I have only worn it once because it's more of an occasion dress than just a simple summer dress, but I do like wearing it and it comes together like, the design is really nice. Like the sleeves, they get this really big puff because like basically you have the outer sleeve and the inner sleeve, so the sleeve is basically lined, so they puff all this, and they bring it all inside, and it's really nice and has this big bow, like it's really nice. But again, the instructions were so difficult. And then what got me was like they did a sew along on Instagram for the puppet dress, which is the worst place to do a sew along. I will tell you that, because they did it in their stories and then they made it a highlight. But the thing is, you can't pause it, so you have to watch one step, then go out of the stories again, then do it, and then, or if you have to rewatch it or a little bit, or you just want to do a little bit, and you can't pause it. So every time you have to go back through the thing. Oh my goodness! And then what got me as well, but the written instructions don't match up with the sew along, so they follow different instructions for the sew along than they did for the written blog, which had just got me all confused. And I actually might think that I will do a sew along on my YouTube, because I love this dress, and this dress deserves like so much more attention. And I think if you had a good sew along, you could really follow it. Like, it's not really too complicated. Like, I wouldn't again recommend it for a beginner, but it definitely isn't a complicated construction. So yeah, I think if they just, I always feel such a shame with Mood Society patterns, because like their patterns are so nice, and they must spend like a lot of time designing them, because they're great. They're not simple designs at all. So they must spend a lot of time designing it and then have like so shit instructions. It's like, it just means that people probably won't make it up, or they definitely won't recommend it to other people. I don't get it. It's just a waste, it feels like to me. Anyway, rant over. Let's talk about SewFrugal 23. Now, because I love Mood Society patterns so much, and I look at them a lot, I just thought this is a challenge, so I'm going to challenge myself to find something else. So I had an idea of what I wanted to make, and actually it came because of the fabric. Now, this fabric that I have, it came in a subscription box, and the subscription box does come with a pattern, and I did make the pattern up in this fabric, but because it's with subscription boxes you get enough fabric to make the biggest size, and I don't fall into the biggest size range, so I always have fabric left over. And then with this pattern I also sized down and made it a lot smaller than what the pattern was originally like. So I've got a lot of fabric left over, and it is this sweatshirting, maroon sweatshirting. It doesn't really look maroon on camera, but this is definitely like a dark red, and I made it into the fiber mid ruby. It looks nice on the outside, it's super soft on the inside. Oh my goodness, I love this fabric. It's a little bit stretchy, but not too much. And now I have this much left over. I knew immediately I wanted to make sweatpants in it, but like shorts. I have this pair of ready-made sweatpants shorts that I wear all the time in summer. I love wearing it. So I figured I could make another pair. Now the pair that I have is light blue, so it's definitely not the same. But I will use that pattern basically, or that was my inspiration, so to say. So I have this fabric. So I went on the hunt for a free sweatpants pattern, and honestly it was still quite difficult to find. So what I did is I went on Instagram, and I just not Instagram, Pinterest. So I just wanted some inspiration, and I just searched for like free sewing patterns, and I was just looking a little bit at like what was there. Some of the patterns weren't available anymore, But yeah, I just had a look through there, and in the end, I found this pattern. Don't think you can see, but it's a sweatpants pattern by So Easy, and it is free to download, and it's actually a donate what you want kind of pattern, so I will link it below. You don't have to donate anything, but if you want, you can donate some money towards them. So this is just, it is a classic sweatpants pattern with an elasticated waist, tapered legs, and it has a cuff at the bottom, drawstrings and pockets at the top, and it looks quite comfy. When it comes to these things, you can always color block as well. I think that looks cool. Anyway, it comes in a size 6 to 24, when that is a waist 28 inches to 43.5 inches, and hips 46 inches to 61 inches. So those are the sizes. It comes with like a whole instruction on how to print a PDF pattern and how to stick it together, things like that. So the only thing that it says you need are grommets to make the eyes, but I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, you could just make a buttonhole and put the string through there. So yeah, you need grommets and string, cord, what you want to call it, 2-inch wide elastic. It doesn't really say how much you need, but it's enough to go around your waist. So you can just kind of measure that yourself, whatever you're comfortable with. And then it gives the pattern. Now, I haven't actually pieced it together yet, as you can see, which I will do someday soon. But the thing that I have noticed about this pattern is that the printing is only on like half the page, so like this. So it doesn't cover the full page, which I think is a bit of a shame, just like you're wasting a lot of paper that way. But anyway, these are like long sweatpants, and I'm making a short, so what I think I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna piece it together, cut it out, and then I'm just gonna take my ready-to-wear pair and just measure up how long they are, and obviously like don't forget to include seam allowance. And I'm just gonna see how that will go. It has a cuff at the bottom here, but I think I will just kind of hem it. I think the one I have is like a curved hem at the side. I haven't worn them in months, but I'm thinking it's a curved hem. So if that's the case, I will try and do that because they're just really comfortable the way they are. So yeah, that is what I'm doing. Okay, so I have now pieced together the pattern pieces and cut out my size according to my measurements. There is only 2 pattern pieces, the front leg and the back leg. And it does say as well on here, what does it say? There are 2 pieces not included in this pattern, which are the waistband and the cuff of the leg, and they give you instructions on how to draw them. That's the dog, sorry about that. So yeah, they give you instructions on how to draw off the waistband and the cuff, but as I said before, I'm going to make shorts, so I will not use the cuff. However, I cannot find my ready-to-wear pair, obviously, so I will just have to measure how long I want the shorts to be, and I think I want the hem to be curved at the side, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm going to do that. I think I'll just overlook the edge and then turn it over once in a curve, cut it in a curve obviously, and then overlook it and hem it by folding it over once. I think that would be the easiest way to do it. And then yeah, the waistband, obviously I will have to draft that myself. The only thing that I found with this pattern is because it says there are 2 pieces not included. It says that loud and clear on the pattern pieces, so you know you don't have to worry about it. So I just went and looked at the instructions just to be sure like that the instructions were actually there for that. And then when it comes to opening the instructions, you know, when you're reading the instructions, it actually says that the seam allowance isn't included in the pattern, which I think is something that you would want to put on the pattern piece as well. If you're going to put there that not all the pattern pieces are included, then you can also put there that the seam allowance isn't included, because I would not look at the instructions before starting to cut out normally. So I was a little bit shocked. I mean, not shocked, but like disappointed in the fact that I had to read the instructions to actually know that, you know, the seam allowance isn't included. So mental note for myself, please remember to include seam allowance when you're cutting out the pattern. Yeah, so I'm gonna start making it and I will take you along. Okay, so here we are. It is the 28th of March right now, so tomorrow my vlog will go up, and I wanted to have finished my make by then. So I will show you what I have. Just this, shorts, and you know, most of you look at that and might think, oh well, that looks quite finished, or almost finished at least. And I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that they are way too small. Not just a tiny bit, way too small. Like they don't even go up over my bum. So that is a shame. However, I have figured out why that is. So this pattern, obviously it comes in a PDF, and when I printed it, I print it from my phone. I always print PDF patterns from my phone, and it never was an issue. And I do measure the reference square, and that was all fine. But it turns out these patterns, the So Easy patterns, you cannot print them on your phone. They just come out way too small. So it's a bit of a shame, because I would have loved wearing these. I'm gonna cut them open and take the elastic out, because the elastic is good. Made that obviously to fit me. And I have reprinted the pattern from using my laptop, and it comes out way better. Maybe I should have known something was up. So remember how for you a few minutes ago I told you about how it was a waste of paper that they didn't use the whole paper? Well, basically that was incorrect. The pattern definitely does use the whole paper. So yeah, it was just an error somewhere. I don't know how the measurement, the measurement square came out right, but then the rest of it didn't, which is just kind of odd to me. Anyway, I've got it reprinted, and hopefully I can make it up before the 31st of March. But other than that, my experience using this free pattern, the instructions just, they weren't that great. Yeah, so the instructions were very bare. And so I think, well, if you have knowledge of like trouser construction, you can do it, because you just know how to construct a trouser, I guess. But if you're a beginner sewist, I would definitely be confused by what the instructions were like. Even though I think as a beginner it's so much nicer obviously to use free patterns, because you're just getting started and you don't want to invest too much money in a hobby that you don't know if you like yet. So it's a shame that that's not reflected, because the pattern itself is easy. It is easy. And if the instructions were just a little bit better, I think a lot of beginner sewists would be able to use it. Because I do like it. Like the pockets are nice. the angled pockets, and the grommets are nice. Like, it's an easy sew, but that still looks nice. So that is how it's going with my SewFrugal make so far. I did, however, also find another pattern, which is the Buttercup sweater and sweater dress, I guess, which is a free pattern by Mood Society. And it basically comes in 3 options. You've got a crop top with a waistband, just a crop top that hangs loose, or a sweater dress, and it does come with like a big, like, sort of puffy, well, a big sleeve anyway. It looks a bit funny on the line drawing, but anyway, I thought it would be nice because I've got plenty of fabric left. I hope I still have enough fabric left to do both, but I think shorts, this with these are high-waisted, with a crop top, and I think that would be the perfect lounge set for summer nights. So that is my plan. Whether I'm gonna make that, whether I'm gonna you know, get that deadline for the 31st, which is Friday, I'm not sure about that, but I will definitely make it. If not before Friday, I will definitely make it this weekend. At least the shorts, because they're quick sew. You know, you just cut it out, put it together on the overlocker, you know, and that's it. So yeah, this is the conclusion of my SewFrugal 23 make. So a big thank you for Sam and Roanne for organising this challenge and letting me join in the vlogger tour. And also a big thank you, shout out to all my fellow vloggers that have been on this tour. Yesterday, so I guess today for me, yesterday for you, tomorrow when I post this, is the video from Stitch Hem Sew, and she has a video of easy, quick patterns to sew for the whole family, so definitely give that a watch. I have thoroughly enjoyed every vlog so far, and I'm sure I will enjoy the few that are to come. So let me just check what it says here. Today with me we have the dressmaker's closet, and tomorrow we have one Lisa show. Sorry, got a little bit lost in my mouth there. And then on the 31st is So Do It Emma, and that it will be the conclusion. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you enjoyed something a little bit different, because I know everyone's been putting a lot of patterns out there, but maybe you would like to see also a little bit of the process and a little bit of a review on the pattern that I made, even if it wasn't a success. But this is a warning for you all, you know, the So Easy patterns, do not print them on your phone, print them on your laptop. And yeah, and I hope you joined in this challenge, as there are lots and lots of prizes to win. I will not repeat which ones. You can find them. I will put a picture on some of the sponsors that will be giving prizes away. For now, let's go sew.